Fam, it's your fams that gifted. What's your fam? What's going on, players? So I want to talk about like, dang, fam, like you gotta understand, fam. Whatever you want to do in life, fam, you gotta just start. You don't know how far it take you. Like you don't gotta have all the answers. You ain't gotta have all the stuff that you know. You ain't gotta have all the rundown before you start. Just start, fam. All the stuff that you need to know, all the mistakes and the success and stuff you can learn along on the way. You gotta understand that. You don't know how many people just stay stuck and stagnant because they don't want to start because they don't know how to do this and that, do that and that. Like you gotta understand, just start. When you start doing it, you're gonna become wiser at doing it. You're gonna become more knowledgeable at doing it. You're gonna have a better understanding of how to do it better, how to do other things around it. You gotta understand that, fam. So you gotta understand, fam. Like sometimes you gotta encourage yourself. Well, mostly all the time, because every day you're not gonna want to get up and do it. You're not gonna want to get up. You're gonna feel tired. You're gonna feel drained. You're gonna feel like the world pounding down on you. But you gotta get up and do it. You don't know. That's discipline. You gotta train your mind to. You gotta train your mind to when it get hard, when it get ugly, when you can't figure it out. You gotta train your mind to just push through it. You gotta push through all the pain, all the suffering that's going through. You gotta push through all that. You gotta get up and do it no matter what. That's what creates men into. That's what separates from boys to men. Getting up and do it every day, even though you don't want to do it. You gotta understand, cause complaining and crying and sitting around talking about it ain't gonna do nothing. You gotta understand that, fam. You gotta understand. Your environment not gonna change if you don't change the things you do. If you don't change your habits, you gotta understand that the life that you desire, it's not gonna change unless you change your habits that's around you. Cause you gotta understand that new life, that new version of yourself that you're trying to jump into, it's gonna require you to die to that old self. It's gonna require you to die to that old ego. It's gonna require you to die to old things you used to do, because it ain't gonna cope in the new world, in the new version, in the new life you're trying to live. You gotta understand that, fam. So while you sitting around, just sitting around all day being lazy, not doing anything, not even going outside to take a walk or going to the gym, or just changing your eating habits, or just doing different things to put into your day, like your environment not gonna change. You gotta understand, fam, because God not just gonna give you something if you're not ready for it. You feel me? Like he ain't gonna just bless you with something if you ain't even ready for it. If you ain't even really mentally, physically, spiritually, you gotta understand that he not gonna give you stuff if you're not ready for it, fam. But you gotta understand, fam. You got to go through it in order for you to get to it. You got to understand that, fam. It's not about the destination, but it's about the journey. You got to fall in love with the process. Like, you don't know how many people that, like, when they get into some stuff, or like when they naturally get it, or they just love to do something, it's a passion for them, they just love to do it. They fall in love with just doing it. They fall in love with the journey and the process. You got to understand that, fam. Because look, you got to understand, when you doing something, you can't just want the outcome of the stuff. You can't just want the money, the success, the followers, and all this and that. You gotta understand, fam. You gotta love what you do. You gotta understand that, like streaming, fam. Like you gotta love streaming. You gotta love going out into people and just joking and just trolling people and just having fun with people, meeting new people. Like when you playing video games, you gotta just love video games and just do it. You gotta understand. You gotta be grateful enough to just have those 2 viewers in your stream. And then next thing you know, you're gonna realize where you came from. You're gonna see how far you came. You're gonna see how much work you put in. You're gonna see, like, dang it, I was just doing it. I would just naturally come on here doing it. And like you just gotta naturally do it. Naturally be yourself. Be your authentic self, fam. You gotta understand that. Like when you in the process, you can create memories. Like you can just look back until where you want to get, until where you get, like until you get big, until you get to where you want to be, and you can just look back like, dang, I really went through that. You can just reflect and be like, dang, look at all that stuff I went through to just get to there. Look at all the stuff I had to do to accomplish, the bypass just to get here, just to get there. Like you gotta understand that. You don't know how much of a proud person you gonna be. You gotta understand that. You don't know how much of a proud, like, you gotta understand, whatever you want or whatever you desire to get, you already have it. You already have it in the spiritual realm. You just gotta manifest it. You just gotta get in alignment with the right. Just get in alignment, and it'll flow. Like, say like you want that car or that or this and that, but you gotta understand, like, you already have it. You just gotta align with it. You gotta understand that, fam. Like, worldly riches don't mean nothing. You got to understand that. That's why God talks about to focus on the spiritual things, to focus on the things we can't see, because the things we can't see is eternal, but the things we can see is not everlasting. It's going to soon pass away. You got to understand that, bro. So you got to understand, like, this whole video, I just want to say, like, just start, bro. Just start while you don't got all the answers. Just start while you don't got all the knowledge, fam. Because it's like, you got to understand, from success you learn a lot. I mean, from mistakes you learn a lot, but from success, not so much. You got to understand that if you starting off being good at stuff and just doing something, what are you learning? What are you learning from it? What are you getting out of it? What does something teach you? Like, you gotta understand it. Like, when people come into our life, when God placed people in our life, people are in our life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. You gotta understand that. Sometimes people into your life to just is a mirror or to reflect. Sometimes people in your life can be another version or another part of yourself that you need to work on, that God is trying to teach you a lesson. Like, sometimes you need to go through those painful experiences to realize who you is, to realize what you need to do, to realize, like, you gotta understand it. Because it even says it in the Bible. Sometimes it takes for a painful experience to come back to God, to go through things. Like, it takes a painful experience to see things and just see clearer. You gotta understand that, fam. Like, you gotta understand, like, with all due respect, fam, it ain't gonna hurt to just try. It ain't gonna hurt to just show people or just show God that you want it, that you don't want to give up, that you want to just try something, try doing things, even if you don't become successful at it, or even though if you don't blow up or get all this and that or big off of it or make money off of it. Just try, fam. It ain't gonna hurt to just try. You don't want to get far in life and then you be like, dang, I should have did that. I was good at that, but I didn't. But you gonna regret doing it. You gonna regret not doing it, fam. Like, we all got gifts and talents that we good at, that we naturally good at, that we can bring out of us, that God can bring out of us that we didn't know we had. Sometimes people got some stuff that they don't even know they got, and like, that's what really people look at about them. But it's something that else they trying to do, but it ain't really fitting for them. You gotta understand that. Like, when you get older in life, when you get down that road, you should want to look back on your life and be like, and say that you done all the things that you needed to do, all the things that you ever wanted to do. You should be able to want to look back on your life when you older and be like, should not have no regrets. You gotta understand, fam. We was put on this earth to glorify God. We was put on this earth to go back home. But while you here, the stuff that you do, the stuff that you accomplish along the way, that's just stuff that you pick up along the way, the sins that you pick up along the way. That's stuff that you pick up along the way, fam. You gotta understand that. What's in the past, don't need to just leave it in the past. You should be pressing towards the mark of the price of the high calling. You should just keep moving forward. You gotta just keep moving forward, fam. Stuff gonna happen, things gonna happen. Life is life. It's gonna be that. But you gotta just keep moving forward and just put it behind you, fam. You're not perfect. You're not gonna get everything right. You're not gonna be good at everything, but man, just keep moving forward. Like in that one animated movie, what it say? Just keep moving forward. He said, I don't know how to do this. Just keep moving forward. It's hard, Dad. Just keep moving forward. He said, why do you keep saying that? Because that's my dad's motto. Just keep moving forward. You just got to keep moving forward, fam. You got to understand that, fam. Because whether you gone, when you gone, life going to keep going. When you not here, life going to keep going. Yeah, you might die. Yeah, people might talk about you for 24 hours, but as soon as that 25 hours hit, they're going to forget about you. They're going to do what they want to do with their life. They're going to keep going on with their life and keep accomplishing things. So you got to understand that, fam. While you here, you should want to do the things you want to do. You should want to inspire people. How can people talk good about you? How can people say, oh, you made a big impact in their life? How can people just say that you really inspired them to get on their motivation or just get on their stuff or just get on their grind? People, like, you got to understand that. You don't know who watching. You don't know who you don't know. You got to understand, you might be the only Bible that people see, that Bible that people read. You got to understand that, fam. So you got to be a good example. Set a good example. Set a good example for the youth. Don't be out here promoting negative stuff or just out here doing anything, fam. You got to want to be positive. You got to want to uplift people. Want them to do the right thing. You don't want to see nobody down. Like, you got to understand that, fam. But yeah, I think I'm going to cut it short for y'all players. Like, if you didn't get anything out of this video, fam, you got to understand, fam. Just start. Just start at doing whatever you want to do, fam. It ain't going to hurt to just start, fam. You're not going to know everything off rip. Just like on the chess. Just like on the test. You may not know the answers. You may not know the questions. But what you do, open that page and you just start. You just start getting to it. And it just start flowing. You got to understand that, fam.